Okay, we're back in Legend of Heroes, Trails to Azure, and we are kicking things off here at Belgard Gate. We're going to hit the Police Academy, work our way east, and finish up at Amorica with the mission that's in the title. Like they said at the trade conference, compared to other militaries, the CGF is a half-cocked imitation. The Empire and the Republic are the ones who made it that way to begin with, though, and yet they had the gall to use it as leverage against us. It really grinds my gears. Ever since independence was proposed at the trade conference, things have been pretty tense around the borders. We shouldn't be surprised, though, after the way Mayor Claw just threw it out there point blank. Oh well, it just means we have to stay sharp and keep our guards up. No one else over there. Warrant Officer Morale got promoted to second lieutenant the other day. Even among countries with more proper militaries, that's still quite a high rank. I don't doubt she'll keep climbing the chain of command either. The Imperial Army's been conducting drills outside Guerrilla Fortress as a show of force. Are they trying to put pressure on the Guardian Force? Or no, Mayor Claw is probably their actual target here. Still, this tension is downright tame compared to how it was before the Non-Aggression Pact was signed. An independent crossbow is just a fool's flight of fancy. Crossbow exists to serve the Empire, and that's exactly how it should stay. The tension around here these days is wearing me out. Wait, my shining Stella is watching me. I gotta stay sharp. Wouldn't want to risk looking sloppy in front of her. Class has been looking especially spent lately. Better whip him up something to eat. That'll get him back into tip-top shape. We're still only testing out the waters as a couple, but it's the least I could do. CGF would be operated like a standard military if Crossbow became independent. They'd be able to upgrade the guardsmen's equipment, not to mention add actual tanks to their arsenal. Man, as a military enthusiast, that would be so cool to see. Anyone here? Almost missed this one. They say the mysterious monsters around the state are only growing in number. Things just aren't as safe here anymore. I'm going back to Ereboni the second I can. I think we already got that recipe. How's it hanging, Warrant Officer Morale? Working hard or hardly working? You know very well the answer to that question. Honestly, Randy, I told you just the other day that I was promoted to second lieutenant. Ignore him. Congratulations on your promotion. Thank you, Sergeant Major. Feels nice to be moving up. It also means I'm going to be saddled with additional responsibilities. I'll just have to buckle down and apply myself even more from here on out. Even more? Like, you aren't walking around with a stun halberd up your butt already? You're going to get burned out if you keep that up. You gotta learn how to chillax. Be as cool as the other side of the pillow. I don't recall asking for life advice from the local moron, Randy, but thank you for spoiling our pleasant conversation. Promotion or not, some things are never going to change, huh? Crossbow can't ignore the potential threat these mysterious cryptids pose. Unfortunately, due to the political climate, the CGF must focus on our state borders. Count on you all to spearhead this investigation in our stead. We won't let you down, Commander. No one out here. So now we need to get up to the third floor. Like everyone else, I was shocked by the independence proposal. Still, maybe this is what it would take to properly protect Crossbell. Here's hoping it becomes a reality. Ever since the mayor proposed independence, the Empire and the Republic have been openly pressuring Crossbell. Things are so tense right now that my stomach is in knots. Hope things cool down sooner rather than later. Okay, off to the police academy we go. For some of these places, I think they take a lot longer than they actually do. If Crossbow becomes independent, we'll likely see a major overhaul to the criminal justice system, one that's far less forgiving than it is now. But they do a pretty good job of reducing the number of cases we get of foreigners crossing into our borders to break the law. That's if we become independent, though. Not seeing anyone up there. A cryptid was spotted in Fort Knox recently. Two bracers named Lynn and Aelia went to exterminate but were unable to track it down. It's where the CGF holds their survival train, so we're closing the grounds as a precaution until the situation is under control. No one in there. Even Even those of us at the Academy know that independence would have a major impact on our future as police officers. If nothing else, a lot of the cadets are rooting for it to happen so that the police force can grow as an organization. So that was 4 NPCs, or was it only 3? I wasn't fully paying attention. Crossbill is sandwiched between the two of the most powerful nations on the continent, the Empire of Ereboni and the Republic of Calvard. In other words, declaring independence is like rolling a red carpet out for them to come invade us. When you think about it like that, what the mayor did was pretty gutsy. If a crypto were to harm an Erebonian or Calvardian tourist, 2 major powers would never let it slide. In other words, it's directly tied to the tension at our borders. The CGF can't afford to leave the matter alone. We'll be depending on you to make some headway with the investigation. They say there have been large mysterious creatures appearing in Crossbill lately. Certainly picked a stressful time to take a trip. When you think about it, I guess it was inevitable that Crossbill would start talking about independence eventually. Unless it starts to affect my business, though, I'll remain a curious onlooker. Recently, people from the Republic have been discussing the pros and cons of an independent Crossbill. Unsurprisingly, most are against the idea. With the referendum coming up soon, I can't help but wonder how they'll respond if we do become independent. We finally fixed the radar facility that was destroyed at the trade conference the other day. Those despicable terrorists, just how did they manage to pull that off right under our noses? The more I think about it, the more confusing it gets. That, plus the armored car that showed up in the Geofront, feels like more than they could have prepared alone. Our suspicions that the society was aiding them may be right on the mirror. That does seem to be the case, though. We never did get irrefutable evidence. Okay, it's this one. An independence proposal, huh? Crossbill may be in for a storm with this one. Can't imagine the Empire of the Republic's just gonna let this go by unchallenged. For what it's worth, though, the mayor and his backers have my support. Something about the guards around here is kind of unsettling. I don't care if they're on high alert or whatever, would it kill them to be a little more welcoming? It might, you don't want to risk it. CGS has a lot of irons in the fire thanks to the mounting pressure from the Empire and Republic. So many that some of their duties have been dumped off on you guys in the Bracer Guild. I suppose we're going to need every side to be flexible enough to help each other out right now. Cryptids, huh? From what I heard, they make for some pretty tough opponents. CGF needs to focus on guarding the border right now, so good luck with dealing with them. That concludes my report. I see, mock battles around Tangram Gill, eh? Even if they're on the small side, their attempts to place pressure on us are becoming more brazen. Yes, it's just as we predicted. We won't be able to rest easy until after the referendum. All we can do is stand by and maintain relations with all sides while we wait. Excellent work, Guardsmen. Continue monitoring their movements. Yes, sir. As you can no doubt tell, we have neither the time nor resources to devote to dealing with the cryptids. Forgive us for demanding so much, but we're counting on your help with the investigation. Let's go upstairs. Yeah, we got that one already. Those cryptid things remind me of the spirits that appeared in the Moon Temple a while back. It'd be one thing if they just look scary, but the fact that we hardly know anything about them just makes them so much worse. If I ever bump into a cryptid, Adios give me the strength not to pass out again. With each passing day leading up to the referendum, things just get tenser here. Calvartians generally aren't in favor of Crossbill going independent, as it turns out. Just pray those sentiments don't lead to policy and military action. Okay, that concludes our business at the gates. Next up is going to be our Amorica. That's down here.
Yoshi, 行くか。どこに行こうかな。さあ、行くぞ。よし、着いたぞ。
and I need to take a small break. Okay, so I went ahead and grabbed the recipe off camera. Well, I keep calling it the recipe, but it's the cooking thing. Find the list of places, basically. Elkin's making a produce delivery to the city. He's been in such a good mood lately, he'll look for any excuse to take the long way home. To be fair, I can understand why he's so happy with the massive bargain he's made. I recently met a man with a lot of promise, probably as much as Harold even. Fellow's been doing a lot of good for our little village. There's been a guy in the village lately who's dressed to the nines. Told Gramps that I was such a capable lad. Of course, Gramps was thrilled. I could tell he was just flattering me, though. Curiosity, what you got here? Straw hat. Ironically, that's obsolete. Like, the numbers in this game are already big enough to where... Like, I already have better accessories than that, ironically. Something up with that monocle guy. He acts nice and smiles all big, but his eyes look like they're hiding something. Mom spanked Camille the other day. His bow's all red like an apple. This foreign guy who's been coming to the village gave us some candy. Thought he'd yell at us for getting his clothes all dirty, but he didn't. It's a good thing nice people like him exist. That foreigner who's been coming by is quite the cheerful fellow. He's never without a smile. Something about it really puts me at ease. Wonder what I should make today. Well, without further ado, let's go to the inn and find out who this dude is. Unless... Nope, she's not there. Evidently, that foreigner's been around the block a few times. He immediately sensed my love for Celie and cheered me on. What a great guy. This man's been hanging around here lately. Here he's from a famous foreign company, but I never heard him brag about it. It's nice to know there's still some people with class in this world. Wonder when Derek is planning on coming home. Best case scenario is that he makes up with Chief Tolta soon. Huh, so we didn't actually get the 20 CP from this. That's heartbreaking. I borrowed a book called True Mysteries of Crossbow from the library. The story of the man searching for his lost head gave me chills. It's a spooky one, alright. Still, if you don't have a head, how can you possibly cry out to people asking them to find it? And now it's not so scary anymore. And that does it for the sheets. Before I had Stefan, I always wanted to be made of... What? I guess if you set the bar so low, it's impossible to fail. After helping out here at the inn, I have to say it's enjoyable work. I thought I saw something over here in the corner. Oh no, it's just a flower pot. Maybe he's with the chief. Talk to the wife first. There she is. Derek hardly ever comes home these days. Hope he hasn't got himself mixed up in any dangerous business. Hope this is not going the way I think it is. Just what does my fool of a son think he's doing? It's concerning, yes. I believe there's a possibility he's been... Hello, Chief Tolta. You called for the special support section? Oh, and Mr. Hayworth is here too. There you are. I've been waiting. Take you've seen the request. Thank you for coming. Sure thing. Why are you here, though, Mr. Hayworth? As it so happens, he has a stake in this particular problem as well. After talking things over, Chief Tolta and I decided it would be prudent of us to consult with the Triple S. Considering the circumstances, we thought the situation called for a professional investigation. If that's the case, this must be a serious issue. I recall the description mentioning that this had to do with your son, correct? Yes, it's a very complicated matter. I can brief you all on the details if you're ready to accept the request. Is now a good time. We're ready to help, Chief Tolta. Just tell us everything we need to know. Thank you, Triple S. I'm in your debt once again. As for what's going on, my son Derek has been acting strangely recently. I get the sense he had some kind of sinister plan in the works. Sinister? Is it really that bad? I don't know the details yet. As a matter of fact, I don't know what's going through that boy's head at all. You see, not long ago, Derek told Harold that Amorica would no longer be doing business with him. Really? Why would he do that? Haven't you always been on excellent terms with the village, Mr. Hayworth? Yes, I've done my best to be kind to the people here ever since we started doing business. I came to see Chief Tulta today because I was afraid there had been some kind of misunderstanding. And let me guess, the Chief here was just as out of the loop as you were. Am I right? Yes, you are. We never intended to wrong Mr. Hayworth like this. Losing a customer in him would have been a grave loss for our village. I'm sure my son is fully aware of that as well. This certainly is strange. What reason could Derek have to go over your head and make a decision like that so rashly? It's exactly what Harold and I have been discussing. In doing so, a certain questionable individual came to mind. Derek has been meeting with a foreigner from out of state recently. A foreigner? We don't have very many details on him for the moment. All we know is that he and Derek have been talking behind closed doors. Nothing so suspicious, quite like a secret meeting. Quite right. As such, my request to you is to investigate this foreigner for us. If he truly is planning some sort of nefarious scheme, we need to put a stop to it at once. I apologize if this comes off as rude, but is something like this truly worth submitting a support request for? Surely the logical approach would be to simply speak with your son yourself. Don't think that's our call to you, Tut. I'm embarrassed to say so, but the young lady is correct. Derek and I have been at odds on how to best run the village for a long time. I tried to confront him about this, but I could never get an answer out of him. As his father, it pains me to admit that. No wonder you decided to consult us. That brings us up to speed. We'll begin investigating immediately. I was thinking we could start by interviewing each of the villagers. Feel free to do so. Incidentally, Derek and Elkin are delivering produce to the city right now. Maybe better off speaking with them last. Thank you for looking at this, Triple S. I hope we can get to the bottom of things. We'll do everything we can, Mr. Hayworth. Stranger danger has started. It doesn't matter how I rationalize it. Derek's secret meetings with that foreigner are exceedingly suspicious. If this does turn out to be a nefarious plot, we need to put a stop to it at once. Best of luck with your investigation. I've met with Derek quite often while doing business in the village, and every time he struck me as a polite, diligent young man. If he has indeed got himself wrapped up in something unsavory, I want to help him. Please look into this, Triple S. I hope you can get to the bottom of this. Derek hardly ever comes home these days. Hope he hasn't got himself mixed up in any dangerous business. Would have been nice if they told me who all I need to talk to. Oh well. Foreigner's been coming by as quite the cheerful fella. Ah, here's one. Excuse me, I have a few questions for you. Ask about the foreigner. Him? If I describe the man, I'd say considerate. Considerate? Can you elaborate? Once he was passing by the children as they were playing, and then accidentally they got his clothes dirty. Rather than raise a fuss, he paid it no mind. In fact, he gave them some candy. I didn't decide whether to thank, compliment, or apologize to him. He had me speechless. Interesting. Well, thanks for your time. So that's a repeat. That's a repeat. That's a repeat. Okay, we found one new. Excuse me, I have a few questions for you. Ask about the foreigner. Him? He's got a keen eye, I can tell you that much. What do you mean by that? Man's become infatuated with our honey. He was raving about it being a surefire hit that he could sell across the entire continent. Sell across the entire continent? What, is he a trader or something? Never heard him outright say it, but that seems likely. With discerning taste like that, I'm sure he's already made a name for himself. I'd be thrilled if my grandson were to follow his example. Is that so? Well, we now know the dude is some kind of merchant. It's good information to have. Thank you for your help. Not a problem. Feel free to talk to me anytime. There's been a guy in the village lately who's dressed to the nine. Okay, that's just a repeat. 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 Excuse me, I have a few questions. That's about the foreigner. The man who's been staying here on and off? He's pleasant enough to be around, very polite at that. Polite, huh? I see. What do you happen to know this man's name? I believe it was Mineth. Or at least, that's what he wrote in the guest registry. Mineth. At least we now have a name to work with. Is there anything else you can tell us about this individual? Yeah, it wasn't too chatty, so there's not much to tell. He did call Derek up to his room a couple times to talk about something or another. That's pretty much all I know. Sounds like the secret meetings Chief Tulta's been worrying over. Not the most game-changing information, but it's something. Thank you for your help. Not a problem, I'm happy to be of service. If you really want to thank me, why don't you order some food while you're here? Oh, so apparently we're done here. Okay, we have more info to go off of now that you've spoken to the villagers. This man is named Minith, and he's believed to be a foreign merchant. He's supposedly a kind man as well. The type that's courteous, patient, and caring with kids. On the other hand, we don't know why he's here in the first place, and that's suspicious in and of itself. You make a good point. Yes, we never did learn of motive in any of those conversations. The biggest thing that stands out is him talking to the village chief's son in secret. That doesn't pass the smell test. I'm inclined to agree. It's incongruent with everything else we heard. I say we follow up on that. Wait, look over by the entrance. That's Elkin, the one who went with Derek into the city. He must have just gotten back. Let's go speak with him. Let's see what we can waterboard out of him. Excuse me, Elkin, right? We've got a couple things we'd like to ask you. Oh yeah? What can I do for you? Let me guess, you came to ask about my shiny new orbital truck here. No, sorry to disappoint. Really? But it's the Vern Company's latest model. Minith gave it to me for real cheap. Hold on just a moment. By Minith, you mean the foreigner who's been visiting the village recently, correct? Just how cheap are we talking here? Get this. Got it for the low price of just 50,000 Mira. Only 50,000 Mira? What I wouldn't give to be that lucky just once. Does the goddess have it in for me or something? Easy, Noel. I can see you turning as green as your hat. Her hat's black. Don't you mean green as Wazy's hair? Sorry, force of habit. Moving past Noel's mechanophilia, the average market value of a new truck should be nearly 500,000 Miro, which makes the amount you paid exorbitantly low. That'd be a 90% discount. It sounds more like charity than a bargain. Well, he said the price was cut so we can make our work easier without breaking our budget. He and Derek have been working on some sort of plan. I guess it's coming along. That Minith, I tell you, my hat's off to him. Plan? Shoot, Derek said I'm not supposed to talk about it. Pretend you didn't hear that. Anyway, this Minith guy's the real deal. So you say. Wait a minute, did you come back alone, Elkin? Chief told us that you and Derek went to the city together to deliver produce. We did, but Derek told me he'd catch a bus back to the village later. Said he had some business to take care of at the hotel in the entertainment district. Another meeting with Minith, I'm guessing. Hey, Lloyd, this could be our chance. To speak with him face to face? Probably, yeah. Should head over and check things out. Thank you for speaking with us, Elkin. This was very helpful. No problem. Not that I get what you're after, but hey, good luck all the same. So, you may not remember this, but there was a locked door inside the hotel. Hotel Millennium, that is. That's my prediction on where we need to go. And that's just a repeat. Alright, we'll meet up again tomorrow then. Good talking to you as always. Huh? Wait, aren't you... Pardon us. You're Derek from Amorica Village, correct? That's me. Something I can help you with? Probably should have opened up with this, but we're Crossbill Police, the Special Sports Section. We have a few questions we'd like to ask. That's so. Let me guess, my father sent you here, didn't he? So he even called the police, huh? That's just rich. He had his reasons. I already know his game. He's snooping to find out what I'm up to, right? Well, I have nothing to hide. Ask me anything you want. Not the reaction I was expecting. I'll get straight to the point then. We were told that you've been meeting in secret with a man named Minith recently. Would you mind explaining why? Whatever, it's not as though my father could do anything about it. Minith has been helping me out with a little project of sorts. It's all part of my plan to revolutionize the village. Revolutionize the village? Why do you keep something so important from your father? Well-intentioned or not, doesn't it concern him just as much as it does you? I've tried talking to my father about this kind of thing more times than I can count. All he ever has to say is that I've lost sight of our ideals, and that I'm making drastic changes won't solve anything. But if things continue the way they are, a rural village like ours has no future. Real, meaningful reform is the only way to for us to keep Amorica alive. My father doesn't understand that one bit. I see, and it was from here that you encountered this Minith character. Unlike my father, he's actually willing to listen to my ideas. In fact, he helped me discover a huge opportunity for our village's apiary. I plan on working with him to launch a major enterprise in the near future. You what? Can you even hear yourself right now? Mind your own beeswax, that's all I have to say to you. You got what you came for, right? I need to get back to the village if you don't mind. That was rather curt. Yeah, he totally blew us off. Hey, any of you thinking what I'm thinking? Maybe we can try speaking with this mythic guy for ourselves. Good call. Maybe he'll give us a better idea what the jamoke's all about. I don't know what that word is. Where do you say we show ourselves in? Here goes nothing. Who is it? I didn't order any room service. Excuse me, we're looking for a Mr. Mineth? I apologize for bothering you, but we're with the Crossville Police Special Support Section. We have a couple of questions to ask you. Oh dear, you're police officers? Why didn't you say so sooner? Come in, the door's unlocked. This feels almost too easy somehow. Maybe he's more of a wheeler dealer than we think. Alright, we're coming in, and he's making his way down the fire escape. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm Mineth. What brings you here today? Like I said, we have a few simple questions we'd like you to answer. Will that be alright? Of course, I would be delighted to help an officer of the law. Was there some kind of trouble in the area, perhaps? Not exactly, no. This pertains to you, specifically. We want to know more about you and what brought you to Amorica village. Can you start by telling us about yourself? Well, this is a surprise. But seeing as you're police officers, I suppose I have no reason not to cooperate. To reiterate, my name is Mineth. I am a corporate executive. My responsibilities range from product development to sales and operations. I've been visiting our Amorica village to secure an important business deal on behalf of the Quincy Company. Did you say the Quincy Company? Not ringing any bells personally. You heard of them, Mademoiselle? In a sense, the Quincy Company is a famous international confectioner. They're one of the most prominent names in the field. You can even get their products here in Crossbell. Yeah, that does sound familiar. I think I used to buy their chocolates as a kid. I always paid more attention to what was in the wrappers than what was on them. Okay, he's more interested in the chocolate than reading it. It's quite alright, young man. I too was what one might call brand blind in my youth. You see, despite working for the company, I've never been one for sweets. It was my long-standing reputation as an irrefutable salesman, in fact, that led me to my current position. My apologies, I didn't mean to get us off track with my personal milestones. It's fine, we were the ones who asked. So about that business deal with our Amorica village you mentioned. Would it happen to have anything to do with Derek, the son of the village chief? He told us that it has something to do with the future of the village. Did he now? In that case, I suppose there's no sense in keeping those details under wraps. Derek and I have indeed built a strong working relationship over these past few days. We were aware of that much. Could you elaborate? Of course. The Quincy Company is constantly seeking out new opportunities to grow our confectionery business. As such, the head office tasked me with a project to that effect. Our goal is to gain a foothold from which we can expand into Crossbell. In other words, we want to establish a subsidiary of the Quincy Company here in our state. Precisely. I began my inquiry by paying a visit to the department store in the city, and there I found it. That luxurious, high-grade honey produced in our Amorica village. That honey is made with the lotus flowers in the village's fields. I do recall Mr. Hayworth praising it for its quality. And he should. That honey is the product of nature's bounty passed through for the ages for generations. Seeing those fields is like the goddess herself showing me the way to a brand new confectionery venture. I call it the Armorican Honey Company. The Armorican Honey Company. Not exactly pushing the envelope, but I won't deny it's pretty catchy. We plan on selling candies made from Amorica Village's delectable honey. But in order to do so, we'll need the full cooperation of the villagers themselves. And so I approached the incoming chief, Derek, with a most magnificent proposal. I asked if he'd like to oversee the construction of the factory, as well as the new business enterprise. You offer to make Derek the manager of a Quincy Company subsidiary? Naturally, my company would make full use of its sales and marketing expertise. The fields, too, would be overseen by our staff. We don't want to cause trouble for the villagers, after all. On the contrary, we wish to only ease their life's burdens. Where do you intend on building a factory, though? After discussing a great many possibilities, I settled on utilizing the village's private property on Old Amorica Road. Since it's only very used for storage, Derek was readily willing to agree to the arrangement. No doubt almost anybody would be under those terms, especially with how keen Derek is on revolutionizing the village. Everyone comes out a winner, isn't that just swell? So glad you understand. In my eyes, Derek's talents and strong sense of responsibility are more than enough to qualify him for the position. With that, I've divulged all I can. Does that answer your questions? It does. Thank you for your cooperation. I think we have a much better grasp of what's been going on in the village now. Is there anything in particular that you'd like to discuss further? Not at the moment, no. Sorry to take up your time. We'll be going now. No problem at all, officers. Come back at any time. Please take care. Where do we even begin? This is quite a plan they put together. Evidently, Minith is more shrewd a man than we took him for. The whole spiel took some untangling, but it sounds like it could pay off big time. Seems too good to be true, honestly. At any rate, I think we've got all the answers we were looking for. Let's head back to our Amorica village. Chief told us going to hear about this one. At least they were kind enough to warp us. I don't believe this. Minith is with the Quincy Company? And then there's this whole Armorican honey company business? It's quite an extensive plan they have, and it involves building a factory on the village's private property, no less. Never did I take Derek as the type to pursue something like this. Has Derek returned to the village yet, by the way? That's right, I don't believe I see him around. He said he'd be returning to the village when we ran into him at the hotel. I must confess that Derek doesn't come home very often these days. Instead, he's been renting a room for himself at the Ash Tree Inn. I understand Minith has been staying there as well. Perhaps that was Derek's reason for relocating. That way his plans to industrialize our land proceed without my knowing. What a shameful excuse for a father I am. I wouldn't be so sure about that. What if moving to the Ash Tree Inn was actually Minith's idea rather than Derek's? Maybe it was him who was trying to keep you from catching wind of what's going on. What do you mean? I'll let our dashing leader here handle the details. Ignoring that first part, I'll do my best to explain. Is there something more to this than we realize, Lloyd? Keep in mind that I'm only speculating, but I have my suspicions about this Minith character. What do you mean? The plan he laid out for us would supposedly benefit everyone involved. Our Amorica village gains a new industry, while the Quincy Company gains a subsidiary in a market they want to expand in. At a glance, it all seems well and good. Almost too good to be true, don't you think? Well, now that you mention it. As another point of concern, consider the ridiculously low price at which Minith sold a new orbital truck to Elkin. In this context, we can think of it as an upfront investment. An orbital truck isn't something you gift it to someone at random, not the prices they go for. Never heard of one selling for only 50,000 mira until now. What are you two getting at? It's that he knows he's going to make that mira back, doesn't he? That is very strange indeed. A company as large as Quincy wouldn't normally invest this much capital into an unproven startup. They wouldn't, would they? I don't like where this is headed. Leads me to believe that Minth has an ulterior motive, one that's guaranteed to make him a profit. This is all just conjecture, of course, but I would still suggest that you keep what we're saying in mind. I will. We'll have to be very careful about how we approach this matter. And kudos on the fine investigative work, Triple S. I feel as though I finally understand what's going on here. Thank you for the help. Happy to help, Chief Tilta. Are you saying you can handle it from here? We could continue investigating if you'd like. That's alright, you've done more than enough for now. As soon as I heard about their plans to build a factory on our property, I knew I could never support such a thing. I'll have to speak with Derek later and try to persuade him, not as his father, but as a chief. Perhaps that would be for the best. We'll be excusing ourselves then. Don't hesitate to follow up with us if there's anything else we can do. Of course, I'll be sure to call on you again if the need arises. Stranger danger complete. Did we take the car here? Or... Actually, we need to talk to him again, don't we? Fantastic work, Triple S. Thanks to your efforts, I have a much clearer picture of what's been happening. I'll have to speak with Derek later and try to persuade him. Don't know what this Minith character is after, but for now, Chief Tilta and I will continue to exercise caution in this matter. Thank you for looking into things for us, Triple S. If how this plays out, we may need your help again, so foreshadowing a later event where we expose everything, I assume. Derek is planning to reform the village with this Minith person? Perhaps he and his father's relationship is beyond the point of repair after all. So we'll try to find Elkin and Derek before I call it quits here, but we're also going to go cash in all the quests at HQ. It's you again. Derek, we think you should try speaking to the father one more time. I've wasted enough words on that man already. The village chief is stuck in his old ways. He refused so much to even consider any of my reforms. I'd all but thrown in the towel before Minith showed up and gave me the opportunity I was looking for. My father can't be trusted with the future of our Amorica. Minith and I will be the ones to pave the path instead. Still can't shake the feeling that there's something suspicious about Minith. If only Derek could see that. Dad will be able to get to him without irrefutable evidence. Minith's one generous fella. Guess how you expect someone from a big-time candy maker like the Quincy Company. This plan he and Derek have been cooking up's got my whole heart support.
よし、行くか。どこに行こうかな。さあ、行くぞ。よし、着いたぞ。
Okay, let's go cash these in. I don't think I have enough to rank up, but we'll see. So, counterfeit caper, we got 5. Oh, we hit 7. Ingenuity. Yeah, that's some extermination. There shouldn't be anything more to it. I forgot about that one. So yeah, that's the only one we have left, which we can't complete yet because we didn't get that one scene. So, money-wise, we're up to 9,000 Mira. I'll look around for some stuff before we... I'm gonna shop, of course, before we move forward with the story. But that will be something for next time. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.